Welcome back, everybody, to the MLE Network and to Sunday Showdown. We just finished up with that Academy League match, and we're going to shift gears upward a couple here to the Premier League. We have got the Blizzard, the top dogs in their division and the conference, going up against some pretty stiff competition, I would say, in the Eclipse, who are in second place, albeit by a bit of a game margin, but they are no slouch either. And I think this is going to be a tight one. Mobags, what do you think?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a tight game, a high-flying, high-action game, so I am definitely looking forward to it. We have the #1 team in the Storm Division against the #2 team. Anything can happen. The Blizzard, I would say, are definitely the favorites, having swept 5 of their series this season already. They have only dropped 1 series all season, and it was a very, very close one at that. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. This one is going to be an absolute shootout and just wild one to watch.
Very excited indeed. And before we head into that, just a moment here we're going to take to announce the winner of the draw that we had for the PowerA Spectre Enhanced Wired Xbox One controller. So without further ado, that's going to be Just Staying Alive. Pending verification, they are going to be the winner of that controller. And thanks again to the sponsor PowerA for dishing out those amazing controllers as prizes in these weekly raffles. Yeah, with that, we're going to head into the match here.
Yes, we are. Let's get it.
Sorry to cut you off there. You were probably going to dish out some more thanks to our
No worries. I was just going to shout out PowerA. That is the controller that I actually used that I won last season. So definitely a huge shout out to them. It is a quality product. Definitely.
Nice to see the hometown support there from the sponsors. And I haven't won a case of balls guarana for myself yet, but I hope to one day, as I want to try my own taste of what our sponsors have to offer as well. And now we get into it. This Premier League match between the Blizzard and the Eclipse, 2 charging teams in the Storm Division going up against one another. And we start in the end of the Eclipse with the Blizzard putting some pressure on here. Comp trying to get something out in front, but can't do it just yet. Vitali now heading back the other way. Flip cancels off the wall to try to get it out front. That's not going to get quite there. Motion with low boost goes up for a play, but can't make it. And now it's back in the control of the Blizzard. Comp looking for a dribble play. That's a fake. Instead goes low, and that's the opening goal of the series for Comp.
Yeah, Comp looking very impressive here. Keeps the control. He's got Vitali to beat, and that's not an easy task. But he's able to get the mind game and gets that one bottom corner.
Yeah, that's a lot of high salary players on the field right now, and this is going to be an absolute shootout, as you mentioned, between these 2 teams, as both of them, I think, going to be trading blows back and forward. Another blow trying to be traded there as the Eclipse putting something on net, but it's a counterattack opportunity. Maple Syrup closing it out and putting another one home for the Blizzard.
I was going to say this is definitely the best that the MLE has to offer, but with that one, you kind of wonder, what were the Eclipse doing? Why was no one back to stop that? They definitely want to lock up those overcommits in the offensive half if they're going to keep this game competitive.
Who knows? Maybe they warmed up with a 3s game instead of 2s, but they left the backfield very empty there, and now they've got a 2-goal mountain to climb here with 1 minute played in the game. Now Maple Syrup taking control in the corner, looking to add more to the Blizzard's total. Back the other way with Vitali. A high hit off the back wall is going to waterfall down. Not quite in danger there. And Comp's got some space here back the other way. Can they put it on net? They can. Motion with a great save there to keep it off of the net. Vitali puts it back down the other way, and Comp keeps it out of the Blizzard zone. Now Maple Syrup tries to center it, but Comp's not there. Motion sends it into the corner here, taking control of it. Looking for a dribble, but an awkward flip there is going to relinquish control to the Blizzard. Pace of play settling a little bit here. Oh, Comp looking for a double tap there, but the Eclipse are going to get out unscathed, and now I think it's time for them to press back the other way.
Yeah, the Eclipse trying to press back, but the Blizzard just seeming to be in every position on the field at once, not letting that ball spend any quality time in their own defensive zone as they get almost another clear out. Yeah, and they do. That is out, and they are looking to score again.
Comp with an amazing double tap off the backboard there. A very narrow margin to get that goal in, but still manages to do it.
Yeah, Comp not having the most boost ever, but he gets the perfect pinch off the crossbar, down and in. That is going to be 3-0 with just under 3 left to go.
Blizzard making it apparent very early here why they are one of, if not the top team in the Premier League, as they are making the Eclipse look like they're standing still. And Syrup taking it in the corner here to try to continue that. With a dribble, 360s underneath the ball, tries for another flick, but can't get it. Motion's going to get that out of harm's way, and Vitali trying to get control of it. Vitali beaten to the ball by Syrup, puts it high off the back wall, but Motion with a nice clear there. Vitali follows the touch and puts it into their attacking zone now. Pressures the ball, trying to get it center. Low boost, Motion's going to get a shot on net just inside that right post, and now the Eclipse are on the board.
Yeah, definitely very awkward. You see two players on the back wall. Syrup leaves just enough space for the ball there behind him and the back post, and the Eclipse take full advantage and get this within 2 now.
2:22, the time left to play on the clock as the Blizzard now putting more pressure on. Motion puts it to the side for the time being. That's popped high up into that side wall. Motion patiently waiting, maybe too long. An underneath play from Syrup, not successful. Comp looks for the rebound and can't get it on net. Now Vitali's going to try to fool them back the other way, but can't. Comp with a little bit of space here to work with, punches it high above the net. That could waterfall down, but Motion with a nice half volley to keep it out. A demo there in midfield. Syrup takes out Vitali, and now the Blizzard are going to have even more room to attack. Comp looking to do more damage off of the back wall with a double attempt. Man, this is a lot of skill coming out from the Blizzard, and it doesn't show any signs of stopping.
Yeah, no signs of stopping. That was nearly a full pitch air dribble double touch, but just missing as that one's going to go right into the middle of the goal. Comp scoring his 3rd goal. He's got a hat trick.
That is just unrelenting here from the Blizzard. Comp with a hat trick, as you say. It's indicative of how much firepower this Blizzard team has on offense. And now it's going to be left to the Eclipse, I think, who must be reeling from how skillful this Blizzard team is in such an early stage in this series.
Yeah, the Eclipse are skillful in their own right, but the Blizzard's defense seems to be the star of this game. They are just stopping everything. Nothing can get by them at this point.
Well, the Eclipse looking to get by, but they can't even get by the player, bumping them in the defensive end there. Comp trying to get a ball out front, but can't. Vitali getting bullied into the corner with the ball in hand. A dunk there in midfield means Motion gets it out towards the Blizzard end. Not in a dangerous position yet, as Syrup gets it out towards that side wall. Vitali with a chip into the center, but Syrup controls it. Comp looking for a play downfield, but gets thoroughly dunked by Motion and slowed down to a halt. Vitali off of the sidewall. Bumped midair maybe there. Couldn't tell from the camera angle, but regardless, it's confusion on the side of the Eclipse and another goal for the Blizzard.
Yeah, the camera angle didn't tell the story, but we see it there in the replay. A double commit there from the Eclipse is going to put that one in, and that all but seals this game with only 34 seconds left. It seems insurmountable for the Eclipse at this point.
That was definitely some confusion that the Eclipse are going to want to nip in the bud. That's not something that you can let in the door when the Blizzard are already playing in such dominant fashion. Blizzard looking to add more there, but can't quite do it. And now the Eclipse making a campaign for maybe some momentum here. Vitali with a tester on net, doesn't quite get it. Motion grabs the rebound, up for an air dribble. Puts it off the back wall there, but Comp sends it away. Now 10 seconds left. Vitali playing it off the side wall. At the crossbar, it bounces high, but Motion can't shoot that rebound. Motion keeping it in the zone. Syrup trying to get it out, and here's Hart heading towards the net, and that's going to be an own goal as Motion just barely getting it across the goal line there in the dying seconds of the game.
Yeah, Motion feeling like maybe this game was too one-sided and decides to put that one in himself. This is going to be a 5-2 victory for the Blizzard as they show why they are #1 in the Orange Conference.
Yeah, really not hard to believe. You could make that case without anybody knowing stats about this team. Just say, hey, these guys are #1, and I'd take your word for it after a performance like that in game #1. So much skill on display from both players, and so calm and collected in both zones, offense and defense.
Yes, and I need to redact my last statement. They are not number one in the Orange Conference. That title belongs to the Pirates. They are number one in the Blue Conference, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, like you were saying, they are completely dominant, and they are showing us what it takes to be the number one team.
Yeah, this Storm division, obviously, there's a bit of a discrepancy, I think. It's a 10-game margin, or I think maybe even 11, between the Blizzard and this Eclipse team who are holding down second place. And that was made very evident in how one-sided this first game was. So I think the Eclipse need to recollect here, and they need to, I think, break apart what seems to be such an airtight game for the Blizzard so far.
Yeah, airtight, and if you just look at the standings, as someone that doesn't even play Rocket League, doesn't know maybe even anything about sports, you can look at this and you know that there are two dominant teams in this league at this point, and it is the Blizzard and the Pirates, and the Blizzard look to be the more dominant team in this series so far. So as we get this game number 2 underway, we'll see if they can continue with that.
Well, it's either going to be a continuation of more, or maybe the Eclipse can find an answer here as Motion trying to make an early push. Vitali with a little bit of a low fake, trying to mirror what the Blizzard did early, but can't do that for the time being. That's punched out in front with Comp with a shooting opportunity. Vitali with a nice save there to keep it out. Vitali tries to dribble it downfield, but is dispossessed by Comp. Centers it for Maple Syrup here, but Maple was turned around. Now a banger back the other way, Vitali, but Comp, another great save there to keep it out of danger. Vitali off of the side wall. That's quickly turned around by Motion and sent back into the attacking zone, but again rebuffed by Comp and sent down the field. It's attacking plays here and there for the Eclipse, but seemingly the Blizzard always have an answer on defense.
Yeah, it seemed like on that last save, Comp had his head on a swivel as that shot was a screamer from the midfield, but he was able to jump up and get the block to keep it from going in.
Comp now waiting in that defensive position again, gets it popped over his head by a teammate instead of an opponent, and that's enough to shake him out of his consistency, and it's a goal for the Eclipse here.
Yeah, the Eclipse are going to be really happy to get on the board first here. I believe the statistic is that when you score the first goal, 80% of the time you win that game. So hopefully the Eclipse can stay true to that statistic and get this win, tying the series up.
Blizzard obviously staying true to it in game number 1, so we'll see if the stat holds true in this second one. Motion putting a shot towards net there, but saved by Syrup. Motion keeping the pressure on, but Comp is going to keep it out of the zone. Comp now with a little bit of control, tries to get a flick over one, but can't. Syrup with a hard shot that's going to go high for the moment. Comp with an answer that's just dangling on the goal line. My goodness, that was so close, but the Blizzard players had both run away from that play before they could make a difference.
Yeah, and Vitali showing the calmness and collectedness that you would expect out of a player of his caliber, not panicking whatsoever with that goal line save.
These are real differences that you see from the previous series in Academy League, switching gears to the Premier League. It's plays like that where even under enormous amounts of pressure, these players can stay calm and collected, and Vitali can't stay alive there as Comp demos him. Now Syrup's got it in the back end, trying to get it out. Vitali thinks better of a challenge there, and Syrup tries to get it out, but whiffs. Vitali with control on the side wall. A nice pop there, keeps the control. Puts it towards the net, but that's going to be an easy play for Comp out of the zone. Motion trying to get something started in the attacking zone, but nothing doing there. Now Comp. Comp waits and plays low instead, looks for the flick. That's just off the crossbar, floating in front of the net. What a block from Motion to keep it out. Another attempt from Maple Syrup there, but still no goal. This is great defensive stands from the Eclipse under what is an enormous amount of pressure from the Blizzard.
Yeah, that was a very impressive double save. Neither one of them had a lot of boost to work with, but they were able to keep that out and keep themselves ahead in this game. Hopefully, they can get another goal as getting some insurance for this offense of the Blizzard are surely going to put some points on the board at some point.
Well, I'll save the crowd the cringe-worthy pun of weathering some sort of storm here as the Eclipse obviously, off the crossbar, on the goal line. So much for weathering that storm as the Blizzard tie the game up.
Yeah, and it seemed like the Eclipse were gonna pull another magic trick out of their hat. They almost had that save on the goal line again, but the Blizzard inevitably put that one in, as enough chances like that are gonna find the back of the net eventually.
Especially for this Blizzard team and their attacking prowess. Looking for more here is Comp, slow playing the Eclipse, grinding the pace to a halt, but Emotion puts it out. Has another opportunity to clear here, and it's weak again, so the pressure continues for the Blizzard. Syrup retreating as Vitali puts a banger off the back wall. No, Comp meeting it there, not even letting it bounce. Motion retreating, Vitali, their turn to turn, but it's too slow. Comp centers for Maple. Thinks better of the shot there as Motion just barely got a touch on defense. It's such small margins here between success and failure, and it's left us at a 1-goal each situation where it's going to be very close in this final minute, I think.
Yeah, and Syrup showing a lot of respect to the Eclipse, as that one's gonna go in, and they have a lead with a minute left. I did not see that own goal coming.
No, but maybe Motion did. This is becoming a recurring theme where Motion seems to be mind controlling the ball into the net on the part of the Blizzard, recruiting a third player onto their team to get some kind of offense going for the Eclipse. As we see the Eclipse with a 2-1 lead, 50 seconds left to play, and Motion looking for more. Can't quite do it there as Comp keeps it out. Vitali doesn't get the bounce he wants off of that back curve, but Motion still keeps it in. Comp clears it downfield. Maple looking for the connection, but can't quite get it. Motion retreating there, looking for a play in midfield, but it's cut off by Maple. Comp with a pre-jump there on that. That could have been a spicy redirect from him. Vitali now the other way with a pass. That's a great pass infield to Motion, and it's a 2-goal margin. 30 seconds left to play.
Yeah, and that is the insurance the Eclipse were looking for. It seems like they may have just sealed the game. The door is still open, just a crack though for the Blizzard to get in and upset the seemingly Game 2 win.
And the Eclipse can't give this Blizzard team any daylight here as Comp looking for a play. Maple overcommitted. Now Motion just barely getting the touch there. And that, I would say, is going to seal this game now. 3 goals ahead are the Eclipse.
Yeah, safe to say that is going to put the nail in the coffin for the Blizzard comeback. There is no chance that they're scoring 3 goals given the ability of the players on the field.
And obviously, it wasn't necessarily as in flashy a fashion as the Blizzard might have done it in game number 1, but really all that matters is game wins here, and the Eclipse have earned themselves one with, I think, a more surprising and almost covert style of play as they kind of get these attacks coming out of nowhere against the Blizzard.
Yeah, I was a little worried about the Eclipse, at least in the first minute or two in this game. It seemed like they were not up to the speed that the Blizzard were showing them, but they held strong, got saves when they needed them, and got this game to win to tie the series at 1.
Motion on paper here, the lower salary player for the Eclipse, expecting, or we would be expecting Vitali to kind of be carrying the weight on offense, but Motion putting all 4 of those goals in. As we said, they weren't necessarily highlight reel worthy, but it's nice to see what you would expect to be the more passive player really contributing on offense for the Eclipse.
Yeah, it's great to see that, and I think maybe the mind control you alluded to earlier has something to do with that, as I believe 2 of his goals might have even been own goals. I can't remember if that was the last game or this one, but definitely something in the water that the Blizzard are drinking if they keep putting in these own goals and keeping the Eclipse in it.
And I think it's worth mentioning with those own goals, I wouldn't say either one was really a total blunder on the side of the Blizzard player who happened to touch it in. It was from enough pressure and enough surprise on the side of the Eclipse that they had to make that touch or no touch at all. And so it's not without a little bit of effort, I would say, on the part of the Eclipse to make those goals happen, even if it was the Blizzard player who touched it in.
Yeah, and I might be being a little bit disingenuous or maybe even a little unfair to the Blizzard. Like you said earlier in the game that we just saw, the margins for success or failure are razor thin, and we saw that in motion in the last game.
Well, we'll see if these razor thin margins may open up a little bit here as both teams probably fully warmed up at this point. But the Blizzard looking to keep things cool as they have it in their defensive end, popping it out towards the left side. And now Maple can't do anything with it, but Comp sends it into the attacking zone. Maple with a nice little touch there to try to finish it off. Tally is going to rotate it out, but is dunked. And now it's Blizzard again on the attack. Comp looking for an air dribble opportunity, tries to get the dunk, can't do it. And the Eclipse so far making the defensive plays they need to and trying to mount an attack here, but so far they can't get out of their zone.
Yeah, not able to get it out of the zone until just now. They have a chance here. If Vitaly can make something happen, he is not able to do so, and they are definitely going to be wanting that one back.
Still a 0-0 game though, so anybody's contest at this stage. 1 minute of play elapsed, and now we see the Eclipse pushing into the attacking zone. Nice pop high there is going to be off frame. Vitaly looking for another chance here, maybe to send it out to Motion, who's waiting in midfield. Motion dives at it, but can't make the shot. Blizzard player gets turned around there, and it's going to be Comp picking up the slack. Puts a heater on net, but that's a nice save, and a rebound control from Syrup is going to finally do it and put the Blizzard up 1-0.
Yeah, that play kind of had everything. Nice shot here from Comp to get the initial challenge, or not challenge, but opportunity there. And then the demo to seal the deal for Syrup, putting that one in ahead 1-0.
As we head into the second kickoff of the game here, Vitaly now with a bit of space to work with. Looking for the dunk probably here, but it's off the angle, not on net. And now Vitaly popping it out to the side to try to give Motion some space. Comp gets the flip reset, but is low on boost. Might still be able to make a play there and can't do it. And that was a nice quick touch from Vitaly there to keep it out of shooting position for Maple Syrup, who was waiting with bated breath in the back there as Comp did their dirty work in the front. Motion in the corner. It's a long uncontested ball, but not in harm's way just yet. Motion keeping it in. Now Comp taking it back the other way. Might look for a pass center here to the waiting Syrup. Instead opts for the air dribble. Just barely getting a touch on it was the defender there for the Eclipse. And it's been a few occasions where it's just a kind of a corner of the hitbox touch from the Eclipse that keeps them from getting scored on in this game anymore.
Yeah, and it's like we said the last couple times here, razor thin margins, as that one is going to find the goal box. That's going to be crossbar down and in for Comp.
Margins razor thin up until that point, but Comp not giving the defender any chance there as he completely buries the nice angled flick. And that's a play that you'll seldom see outside of this level at Premier League. You see these mechanical skill plays really opening up when the players have enough space to do something with it. Vitaly waiting for his chance to play it, but cycles out. Syrup in the back of the field, rotating back for boost as Comp takes control up on the side wall there. Another air dribble opportunity. Comp with the flip reset, puts it over top. What a play from Comp, who just continues to put on a show.
Yeah, if you've got Balls Garana at home, make sure you crack one open for Comp and clip this play, because I am sure that that is a play of the week contender if I have ever seen one.
Yeah, Comp putting my attempt at a paltry flip reset in my series completely to shame there, as he shows us how it's really done with a great timed flick over both defenders who dived simultaneously at the ball. And now the Blizzard looking for more damage to be done here, up 3-0. That one floats in front of the net, but no shooter there to take it. Vitaly here off the side wall. Opts to play it slow, but that might not have worked out too well. That's bouncing down in front of the net, and Comp is going to add another one to their total and make it 4-0.
Yeah, Comp adding another one to his total, and he has been absolutely dominant in this game. That makes a hat trick for him. He's got 8 shots on target. All of the other players on the field amount to 3.
That is just a lights out performance from Comp here, and obviously so much of it in the air or in a controlling play that is mechanically almost impossible for most players to pull off, but Comp seems so comfortable in that position. Another rebound goal for Comp, who's just doing it every which way at this point.
Yeah, this is a high level of play that we're seeing here from Comp. This is definitely not something that you'll see often in any of the other leagues, maybe not even Premier League. I have seen a few games, and Comp is kind of just head and shoulders above any of the other players that I've seen so far.
Head and shoulders and maybe almost all of the upper body, I think, at this point, as it's a 5-goal lead created in no small part due to the skill and opportunistic playstyle that Comp has. And if the Eclipse are going to have an answer here, I would say it's going to have to come in the next game, because this one just feels done and dusted at this point.
Oh, this game got out of hand probably a while ago. I don't even know if the Blizzard needed to score 5 goals. It seems like at this point the one will do them. But they're not going to get Play of the Week, only scoring 1, so they have more attempts in that point.
Well, if it's Play of the Week they're vying for at this point, they've made several cases for themselves, and I'm sure they're not done yet. Now with just 43 seconds left to play, Vitaly in their end is heading up towards the attack with motion in front of them. Comp bounces it off the Eclipse player underneath, and now Maple puts it towards net. That's kicked aside by motion for the time being, who gets another touch and a third, but it's got to be out of boost at this point. Respect from the defender there, as motion finally runs out of gas in the tank. It's headed back the other way, but Vitaly with a nice defensive play. That's floating into an uncontested net, and Comp just, I don't know, it feels like going through the motions at this point.
Yeah, going through the motions, I want to point out motions on that attempt. I don't know if it was respect that was getting shown to him. The Blizzard seemed like maybe they're just trying to let him wear himself out, because he took a really long time to get back, and that's what made that goal happen.
Yeah, that's a strong point there, that it's so perceptive on the part of the Blizzard, knowing when the Eclipse are really threatening and when there's nothing really going to develop from a play. And that economy of play style really allows them to put all of their power up on attack. Eclipse try to answer there, but that's going to be a donut for them on the scoreboard. 6-0 for the Blizzard, and we're back into pretty chilly territory here after the third game of the series.
Pretty chilly territory indeed. The Blizzard looking very, very dominant in this third game, and the Eclipse are definitely going to have to do a lot different if they're going to be anywhere close to competing with this team, specifically with Comp, who was just lights out that game, nearly getting himself the double hat trick there on 10 shots. That is just insane for him.
I think you could almost, despite the skill discrepancy, start to draw some parallels between the series we just saw with the Rhinos running away with it and what the Blizzard might be able to do here. And you have to ask, was it just a momentary blip with the Blizzard slowing down that allowed the Eclipse a win, or did the Eclipse earn it enough that they could make it a repeat performance and level this series at 2?
Well, I'm not sure. That kind of remains to be seen if the Eclipse are going to be able to do that. But I guess kind of what you're alluding to is that sometimes all it takes is for one player to have a lights out performance to be dominant in a game. This is 2s after all, it's not 3s. So you have a lot less variability on the field with the other players, and you have a lot more room to stretch your skill muscles, as they were. Comp doing that to perfection in this series so far.
Well, maybe there are some cracks in the armor, but we're going to need to find out pretty quickly for the Eclipse, or else they're going to get into dangerous territory here in the series, as the Blizzard, up 2-1, are looking to win the series, and we'll see if they can make that happen here, as the ball starting in midfield, not much doing yet. Syrup putting it into the corner there, but Vitaly's going to answer. Vitaly also answering with a card change here. We saw that in the past series as well, and it might be a little bit of a confidence maker for the Eclipse, and they sorely need that right now, I would say.
Yeah, I know whenever I'm having an off day or an off game even, I will switch up the car as Syrup. Little role reversal here. Comp passing it off to him and him putting it in. That is a great shot. Motions nowhere to be found.
Great air roll angle there from Syrup, as they're able to punch that shot at a pretty sharp angle back towards the net with enough power to fool the defender. And now we're seeing a repeat. Blizzard opening the scoring for 30 seconds in, and they're going to try to do some more damage here. Comp, flip reset after flip reset. That almost bamboozled the Vitaly in net, but not quite. Comp now retreats and leaves it to Maple in the front end. Vitaly's going to try to answer back the other way here with an early jump. He's beaten to it by the Blizzard player. Motion, sending it into the corner and high above the net. Comp has control of it and tries to pass off to Syrup, who gives it back to Comp. Tic-tacking back and forth. The Blizzard so comfortable in the defensive end of the field. It seems like it's just impenetrable for the Eclipse at this point.
Yeah, Comp not connecting on that shot there. It looked like it was going to be pretty dangerous, but the Eclipse showing some really good defense on this exchange that we've seen in the last couple minutes here. They are holding strong. They want this win. They want to tie this series back up.
Obviously, they're not the only ones who want that. It would be great to see this one go to a siding game 5. It's a minute and a half played here with only 1 goal scored. This is very doable for the Eclipse as Vitali tries to make a case for himself in the back end. Pops it up in the air and looks for an air dribble follow-up. It's got nice boost to work with. Looking for the flip reset. Didn't get the flip there, but motions. Oh, left with so much space. Comp making an amazing diving save there. That looked all but assuredly a goal.
Yeah, definitely looked assuredly a goal as we see Comp almost get another sure goal, but he's just off the mark on that one.
Comp putting more skill on display here, and the Eclipse trying to answer with some skill of their own. Vitali trying to get a play out into the front for Motion, who's waiting there now. Puts a shot on net, but Comp, plenty of time there to make that save. Vitali with a backwards touch might handcuff Motion a little bit here. Comp puts a shot, but it's high and wide. Motion, low boost, he's not going to be able to do much with that, and now it's Vitali's turn, but he's beaten to it by Comp. Back in the corner, Motion opts for boost instead of ball, almost got punished for it there, and you really don't have much breathing room against this Blizzard team. You make a small mistake like that, and you could get punished for it immediately.
Yeah, small mistake there by the Eclipse, but an even smaller mistake made there by Syrup, I believe, who took that shot just off the crossbar.
Few shots coming off the frame and outsides of the net here, but still the margin stays 1-0 for the Blizzard. The Eclipse trying to get some control in the midfield here with Motion taking it. Comp looks for a pinch and gets it, sending it into the Eclipse zone. Vitali with a nice square challenge there, keeps it out. Looking for a centering pass. That's to Motion, but Comp smart to cut it off there. Vitali given control again, but Syrup challenge as well. Comp jumping at the ball. Maybe trying to make a play off the wall here with a good amount of boost, but Motion nicely keeps it away there. Vitali sending it downfield as we enter the final minute and a half of play. Syrup to Comp. Motion off the corner there, putting it towards net dangerously, but Syrup keeping it out of the shooting lane. Vitali with a banger off the top left corner, but Motion's too far away for the rebound. Now they look for it. Vitali with a demo on net. That's going to leave it wide open for Motion, and the physical play finally opens the door for the Eclipse.
I was still somehow expecting a miraculous save out of the Blizzards, but looking back at the replay, that was definitely impossible. Great play here from the Eclipse to tie this game, and hopefully they can tie this series back up, maybe in regulation, but looks like overtime is imminent at this point.
Looks that way, but you're not wrong to expect miraculous plays from the Blizzard as they look to make a couple more here, maybe. Comp had a line blocker leading him up front, but Syrup couldn't get the bullying play they needed. Now Syrup sending it high off the ceiling downfield. Gets control back of it. Oh, the fake dribble off the crossbar. Comp's going to look for the down shot and gets it underneath the bar. Blizzard tag teaming the net there and getting a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, the mind game coming out in force as Vitali gets one stop on the ball, but Motion got faked off of his axle and wasn't able to get back there in time to make the second save necessary.
With that, the series now in jeopardy with 38 seconds left to play as the Eclipse are down 2-1 and they can't go down anymore if they want to win this series. Vitali punches it up for Motion. That shot doesn't connect as Syrup was in the way. Vitali now cutting the play off at midfield. 30 seconds left here as the play slows to a grinding halt. Comp goes high, looks for the flip reset, gets yet another one. I'm starting not to be impressed by these anymore. It just seems too easy for Comp.
Yeah, this definitely seemed like it was a little bit too easy for him. He gets the flip reset and he is able to get the final couple touches into the side of the net away from both defenders. Comp is ridiculous.
Not much else you can say about it at this point, but that's a very crucial goal for the Blizzard as they get themselves pretty comfortably sitting towards a 3-1 series win here. Obviously, the final game still left to play after that. Syrup looking for a light touch on the net there as the seconds wind down. Vitali's going to make one final play, looking for some dignity and can't find it as the Blizzard win the series for themselves, and they're looking to take more here as the momentum just continues to be on their side.
Yeah, momentum is with them. The series is with them, and the highlight reel plays are with them, as we have seen Comp and Syrup just completely dominate this Eclipse team. Maybe that was expected, but you kind of expect a lot out of these Premier League players coming into these games. Eclipse are the second place in their division. So definitely was looking forward to seeing them be a little bit more competitive and getting us to a game 5, but not gonna happen this time. We'll see if they can get a win, one more win as a little consolation to help them in the standings for these playoff pushes that we're in.
Yeah, and you're right not to let the Eclipse off the hook necessarily here. Obviously, a very highly skilled team needs to develop some kind of an answer. When you see a player like Comp doing the things that they're doing, they need space to make plays like that. And Vitaly and Motion, both very capable of cutting off that space if they get their communication going. But it's really a question of what's the adaptation that they can make and how quickly can they make it to kind of get some strength back on their side, because we definitely believe they can do it.
Yeah, absolutely, they can do it. But when you have a speed of play that they are at this level, it's hard to say, hey, can you maybe play a little bit faster? You're getting beat out there. So I don't blame them for not being able to step up to the challenge. Comp just on another level, it seems like.
Well, if it's not faster, then maybe it has to be smarter, as the Eclipse here should look for some better positioning and maybe a little bit more space generated between the players so that they can cut off these attempts from Comp, as we see another one there. Double tap attempt goes high above the bar, and a demoed Eclipse player means a little bit of space afforded for Maple. They contest that ball at midfield, and Comp does the same, punching it out into the center of the field. Maple's got a dribble opportunity here, but it's squarely met by the defender in net there. Now Comp, another air dribble, a very familiar situation, but that's the early challenge that I think the Eclipse need to continue here, and they might be able to have a shot at winning this game.
Yeah, the early challenge comes out, but Comp still able to take some amount of control away from the Eclipse as Vitaly opens the scoring with a top corner banger.
Motion, such a nice touch off the side wall there to fool the player coming at them, and then it gave them all the space in the world to wait and patiently send that pass over to Vitaly, who put a nice shot opposite side. 1-0 for the Eclipse here, and they're making a case for themselves to make this series 3-2 instead of 4-1, as we've got a minute of play done here, and it heads into the Eclipse end. Now Eclipse back the other way. That's a floater heading towards net, just above the crossbar. Vitaly looking for an answer. That's a great shot, and Comp with an even better save. Comp heading up the wall. One end to the other, looking for more flip reset action, but can't get it in time. Another early challenge from the Eclipse there. And this is definitely a positive change for them that needs to happen. Syrup putting it into the middle. No touch there from Motion. Go ahead.
I was going to say the Eclipse seeming like they are getting wise to Comp's little flip reset air dribble action. They are up and they are not letting him do that to them anymore.
Absolutely. You almost wish that they had gotten wise to that a little bit sooner, but obviously can't ask for perfection in this situation. You just have to ask for improvement, and the Eclipse are definitely doing that. As Vitaly looks for a challenge there that sends careening just wide. Motions is up in the air, trying to look for the soft touch, but Comp meets it. Comp looking for more in the air, but Maple helps them out in the back end as the ball floats still in the Blizzard end. Motion with a soft touch into the corner. Now losing control of it a little bit. Vitaly quick to it, gets it back in front of the net. Maple gets it across that side wall and out of danger. Motion puts a tester on. Comp, not a great save there as it's bouncing in front of the net. Maple, what a great save off of the crossbar there to bail their teammate out and keep this only a 1-goal game for the Eclipse.
Yeah, the Eclipse not scoring here, but they are keeping the Blizzard from getting any offense going right now. Comp got it cleared down, but that is not enough as Vitaly nets his second one of the game. They are ahead by just as many.
Comp still somehow getting a touch on this, seemingly when it's a sure goal. Not sure enough. Vitaly by a smaller margin than it should have been, just getting that goal. But nonetheless, it's going to count for 1 on the scoreboard, and it's going to count for 2 in this game with half of it left. Blizzard, quick to answer though, that's going to be 1 for them.
Yeah, one for the Blizzard here off of kickoff. Vitali looked like he wanted to go for that challenge right away. Decides to opt for the backwards challenge, not able to meet Syrup, and he's going to put that one in there, down by 1. This is getting close.
Nice awareness there from Syrup to recognize how scrambly it can be in those early stages after the kickoff. And he took the opportunity to play it slow and fake out the floundering defender there in Vitali and make a nice goal. Now 2-1 for the Eclipse. Still a win for them possibly here, but it's going to take some work left to do. 2 minutes left to play as Comp takes control off of the side wall, as he often does, but stopped early again by Vitali. Motion, putting it high off the backboard. Maple looks for the touch and a nice pinch out to the side there, keeps it out of shooting position. Vitali quick to the ball again, puts it into the center, but again rebuffed by Maple. Motion. Getting a play eventually on the ball there with probably 0 boost, as Syrup doesn't have any either. This pace of play slowed down to, I would say, almost plat levels there for a moment. It seems like a momentary breath of air in what has otherwise been such a fast series between these two teams.
Yeah, this has been a fast series, and I think the pace of play kind of bodes well for the Eclipse as we see a ridiculous shot and save happening on that end there. This pace of play definitely favoring the Eclipse, who want to hold on to this lead at all costs to save what little bit of this game and series left they have.
Now a minute left for the Blizzard to foil their plans of doing that, as the Blizzard player Comp sends it into the corner. Motion sends it into the middle for Vitali, but they think better of it. Affording Maple a bit of space here. That's off the crossbar. Comp looks for the rebound and buries it, leveling the game with just under a minute left to play.
And just when you thought the Eclipse were going to take the win, we get a bump from Scissor, a weak challenge there from Motions, and Comp just doing what Comp does and putting that ball in.
Well, now it's a tie game, and we might see an overtime contest develop here, as both teams vying for a little bit of offensive position. Blizzard getting it first here as Syrup is off of the back wall there. Vitali sending that effort back the other way, and again with a nice follow-up touch. Grabs a penny of boost, but it's not enough to get there first as Comp beats him to it. Now Motion sending it into the corner. That's off the angle. Motion reading it decently well, but not well enough. Syrup, that's a weak touch back there. Vitali pops it out in front. Comp gets the ball out of danger. Motion with a shot off of the post. Vitali's not there in time. Now with 18 seconds left. This is tense moments here for both teams, but especially the Eclipse as they try to get a win. And Maple might just have played spoiler there at the very end of this game.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Maple is going to be the one playing spoiler. It looked like the Eclipse were finally getting their act together and looked like they were going to take this win. But the Blizzard are just too much to overcome, and they look like they're going to take this game 3-2 now.
Maybe not, though. Motion reading the fake kickoff there. Vitali probably hitting that too hard, trying to get something on net here in the dying moments. Vitali still with control. Let's see if they can do it. Popped high in the air. Motion can't get the angle on it. Not quite over yet, but looking close to being so. Vitali floating it high above the net. Surely Comp will hit it down here. And that's going to do it. A 4-1 series win for the Blizzard. Really asserts their dominance on this division with that margin.
Yeah, they assert their dominance in the division, in the conference, and in this league. They are one of the top teams, and they showed why that is in this series today. I believe that was a 4-1 series win for them, and that is going to do them very well going into the final couple of weeks here as they look to tie up that first overall position in the playoffs.
And I think probably the most important stat to mention here as we look more towards standings is that Blizzard going into this series needed only 2 wins to clinch the Storm division, obviously doubling that total, getting 4, so they have solidly secured the Storm division for themselves. Congrats to the Blizzard for what has been an incredible effort throughout the season, and continuing that tonight against what was a pretty strong team from the Eclipse, but not quite strong enough, I would say.
Yeah, definitely not strong enough, but they still looked really well against one of the top teams, so that has to say something about their efforts and about their chances heading into the waning hours of the playoff push and the season for us here at MLE. So definitely hats off to them for a good series. That was a fun one to watch. I hope it was fun for everybody else as well.
Yeah, I hope so. It must have been just solely for watching the show that Comp put on mechanically, but great series all around tonight as we wrap things up here for Sunday's Showdown. We want to thank everybody for coming out and watching, and also thank the sponsors Powerade, Balls Guarana. And speaking of which, don't forget to submit those nominations for Play of the Week. I'm sure there were quite a few in the series we just watched. And with that, that's going to do it for myself and for the Real Mobags. We're going to see you next weekend with more MLE action.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next weekend. Make sure that you do stick around. We do have a logo reveal, unlike what you're seeing in the chat, so do not believe them. Stick around and we'll all find out what this one is together.